Next on the list, we'll see how the Docker commands will help in managing volumes and network. So if you want to create a volume, you can use this Docker volume create command. Basically, volume is a particular storage adding up to your container that will help us in maintaining the sources. Say for example, if you have the application which will do some file processing or which needs some environment variables file or any profile files that's required for the application, then you can create this volume. Similarly, in some of the cases people use database MySQL also in a volume. So if you want any persistence, you can add up volume. So that is the purpose of the volume in Docker. So you can create volumes like this. Similarly, you can have a list of available volumes. You can use Docker volume ls. And as usual, if you want to inspect more about that, you can add this inspect command, that is Docker volume inspect and your volume name. You can also remove the volume by passing rm command. So there are certain use cases wherein you have to run the container from the particular volume. So in those scenarios you can try this out. So this could be because of the availability of library files or availability of disk usage, everything. So you can also try with this Docker run followed by your name, which is optional here. If you want customized name, you can go for hyphen name, and then hyphen will add up the volume and the volume you created before and the path of that and which container and which tag of it you want us to run. Similarly, you can also transfer your files from your local to the volume. How you do that? You just say docker cp and then the file in your local or directory, followed by that your container name and then the path of that. So this is one example. When during the file process, the container, if you has to do the file processing, this will help file transferring the files from your local to the particular volume. So from the volume, the Docker container will pick up and process it. Similarly, if we think about networking, port mapping is a very major part from the Docker side. So this happens with the Docker run command and then -p, where you do the port mapping. So here the host mapping is 8080 and then the container port is 80, so which means my app application you can access by a port called 80. So this is basically a redirecting, and also you can list out the available networks using Docker network ls.